Welcome SYBC students. Today in this lecture we study transistor load line analysis. First we see DC load line. It is a line on the output characteristic of the transistor amplifier circuit which gives the values of IC and VC corresponding to zero signal. That means here we have to plot the curve of IC versus VC corresponding to zero signal. It is a straight line joining cutoff and saturation point on output characteristic of a transistor. Consider a common emitter NPN transistor amplifier with output characteristic. So here is a graph of IC versus VC, and there are number of lines corresponding to constant base current. This is the NPN transistor in common emitter mode. So here plus VCC is applied to the collector and RC is connected to collector, that is collector resistor. Here RB is connected between base of the transistor and plus VCC. So here there is no signal applied as the input, and at the output we have to take VC, that is collector emitter voltage. When no input signal is applied, DC condition prevail in the circuit. Applying Kirchhoff's voltage law in the output circuit, we get VCC equal to IC RC plus VCC as shown in the figure. So here we have to calculate VCC equal to IC RC plus VCE. Okay, therefore we take VC equal to VCC minus IC RC. Since VCC and RC have fixed values, above equation can be represented by a straight line on the output characteristics. This line is DC load line. The endpoints of the line can be obtained as follows. When the collector current IC equal to 0, then the collector emitter voltage is maximum and it is equal to VCC. So it is shown in the graph where this IC equal to 0, corresponding to IC equal to 0, the collector emitter voltage is maximum equal to, and it is equal to VCC. This gives the first point P on the horizontal axis of the output characteristics, that is OB equal to VCC. So again here this OB, this is origin O and this point B. So this OB equal to VCC. That means VCE becomes equal to VCC when IC equal to 0. Okay. Second, when collector emitter voltage VC equal to 0, the collector current is maximum and it is equal to VCC upon RC. This gives second point A on the vertical axis. So here we consider when this VC equal to 0, then IC is maximum and it is equal to VCC upon RC, and corresponding point is A. That is, this gives second point A on the vertical axis. By joining the point A and B, we get DC load line. So when we connect this point A and point B, we will get the DC load line. From load line, when IC is maximum and equal to VCC upon RC, then VC equal to 0. If IC equal to 0, then VC is maximum and equal to VCC. Okay, so this is the DC load line corresponding to point A and B. Next we consider operating point. From the load line curve, if IC equal to OC, this is shown here, when IC equal to this OC, if IC equal to OC be the zero signal collector current, then the corresponding collector emitter voltage is OD equal to VC. So this is OD equal to VC. The corresponding point on the line is Q. This point is called as the operating point. So this is the Q point. When we join this CQ, that means CQ and this DQ, then this point Q is called as the operating point. The operating point on the output characteristic is the point for zero signal values of collector current and collector emitter voltage. It is also called quiescent, that is silent point, because it is the point on IC versus VC curve when the transistor is silent, that is in the absence of signal, right? Then suppose in the absence of signal the base current is 10 microampere as shown in the graph. The DC load line will intersect the IB equal to 10 microampere at some point, say Q. So this is base current having value 10 microampere and the point Q is intersecting here. The point Q satisfies both the condition, that is of DC load line and output characteristic for IB equal to 10 microampere. Therefore, the point Q describes the actual state of affairs in the circuit in the zero signal condition and called operating point or working point. Next we consider AC load line. It is a line along which Q point shift up and down when there are change in output voltage and current of amplifier due to the AC signal. That means in this case we have to apply input AC signal. This line is steeper than the DC load line, but the two lines intersect at point Q. For DC load line, VC equal to VCC is the cutoff voltage. We can write it as VC cutoff. The saturation current is IC equal to VCC upon RC. We can write it as IC saturation. This is IC saturation. This is upon RC. For AC load line, the cutoff point is given by VC cutoff equal to VCEQ plus ICQ into RAC, and saturation point is given by IC saturation equal to ICQ plus VCEQ upon RAC, where ICQ collector current at Q point, VCEQ collector emitter voltage at Q point, and RAC equal to AC load resistance. Okay. So now we consider next point, transistor as a switch. Electronic switch is a device which can turn on or off current in an electrical circuit with the help of electronic device. A transistor can be used as a switch by driving it back and forth between saturation and cutoff region. Okay. So first circuit diagram, if we see this diagram, then transistor is connected in common emitter mode to the base resistance RB is connected, and plus VCC signal is applied to the collector having collector resistance RC. Then there is a emitter resistor RE, and at the output VC equal to VCC when there is a zero signal input is applied between emitter and base. So V in equal to 0 volt. This is the first diagram or circuit is transistor as a switch, and then second B off state of switch. Okay, in off state of switch, here we see VC equal to VCC. Then this is open, so it is called as a off switch. From figure it is seen that when the base input voltage is enough negative or 0, that means here we see here V in equal to 0, that means it is enough negative or 0. The transistor acts as a cutoff and no current flow in the resistance RC. As a result, there is no voltage drop across RC and the output voltage is equal to VCC. Ideally, though base input voltage is 0, there is a small leakage current, but it is treated as 0. Therefore, output voltage equal to VCC minus I leakage into RC. Okay, but here I leakage equal to 0. Therefore, right here output voltage equal to only VCC. From figure A, VC equal to VCC minus IC RC, right? But IC equal to 0. Therefore, write VC equal to VCC. This condition is similar to that of an open switch as shown in figure B. That means figure B is here and here is an open switch. When the input base voltage enough positive so that transistor goes into saturation and current IC saturation will flow through resistor RC, right? So here we have applied input voltage equal to plus 5 volt, right? And here is plus VCC, it is also equal to 5 volt. Under such condition, entire VCC will drop across resistor RC and output voltage VC is ideally 0 as shown in the figure, right? So here is VC equal to 0 because when input signal is applied to the base emitter, then this VCC is totally dropped across the collector resistor RC, and so there is no output voltage, that means VC equal to 0, right? So from figure we write here IC equal to IC saturation, therefore IC equal to VCC upon RC and VC equal to 0, right? So VC equal to 0 and this IC, that means on the characteristic curve IC equal to VCC upon RC. That means when VC equal to 0, then current is maximum, that is equal to VCC upon RC. So here in the figure B, V out equal to 0, that means output voltage is 0. So there is here is transistor acts as a closed switch, right? Same diagram is here. V out, transistor acts as closed switch. Both diagram are before diagram, that means this both diagram are equivalent to these diagrams. So here transistor as a switch, saturation, saturated region, this is closed switch, that means on state. This condition is similar to that of closed switch as shown in this figure. From the above two situation, it is clear that transistor can behave as a switch under proper conditions. If the base input voltage is negative or zero, the transistor will be driven into cutoff, and if the base input voltage is positive, then transistor will be driven into saturation. Thus, a transistor can act as a switch. Now we see advantages of electronic switches. No moving parts are involved and hence little wear and tear. Therefore, it gives noiseless operation. It has smaller size and weight. Trouble-free service because of solid state. It is cheaper than other switches and requires little maintenance. It has a very fast speed of operation, up to 10⁹ operation per second. Hence, with this lecture, I stop here. Have a good day.